Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's Canisha. If you're new around here, my name is Canisha and I create video content on business, career, lifestyle and books. So if you like the sound of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 tips on how you can start enjoying reading. First tip I'd say is to explore different genres. Now the beauty of books is that there's just so many genres to explore, so many different books that you can check out, that you will most likely find a book or genre that resonates the most with you. So sometimes the best place to start can actually be the books that you enjoyed when you were younger and then taking it from there. So growing up, I loved romance books. Like if that was just where I would find myself gravitating towards, and I'd be on Wattpad and I'd be reading romance stories. Like shout out to the original Wattpad gang, like 3 books that had grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, plots that just never got completed because the person just stopped uploading. That was our story. Like Wattpad, that was something else. So on there, I just found myself reading romance books and getting lost in that world. And so when I wanted to start reading once again last year, that was the first place that I looked. I looked in the romance section to find any books that might interest me and purchase books from there. So this at least should start your initial interest in picking up a book once again, once you find the genre that you used to enjoy before. And then once you've done that, I think that's a great opening area to start exploring with other genres that you might be interested in. So whether that's reading fiction and non-fiction work, sci-fi, thriller books, action, romance, whatever you want to try out, give it a go. The second tip on how to enjoy reading is to stop a book when you're not enjoying it. I don't know if it's human nature or that's just what we do, but we have a bad habit of continuing a book even though we're not enjoying it. Like it's some kind of unspoken loyalty that we've put to that book to say, I'm going to finish you. But honestly, I think that's one of the fastest ways to not enjoy reading and actually start to dread it, because you're thinking about that book that you haven't picked up in a while, but you know you still need to finish. So what I say is, as soon as you stop liking a book, as soon as you stop enjoying it, leave it. Let it go. Don't be trying to go back for closure. You don't need that. Let the book go. Move on to the next one, because if you hold yourself and stay in that entanglement, like you're not going to love reading, you're going to hate it, you're going to dread it, and I just think it's so unhelpful to do that. My third tip on how to enjoy books is to set yourself mini goals. So I tend to set myself a goal of reading 20 pages at a time, and the reason why I do this is that I tend to find after, starting towards like 15 pages in, even at 20 pages in, I want to know more. I get into the flow, I get into the rhythm of reading that I'm like, you know what, let me just add 10 more pages, and then like, let me add 20 more pages, that I just find myself reading a larger amount of pages compared to what I initially set out of reading just 20. So when you just set out to read 10 pages, 20 pages in one sitting, you will find yourself in a flow and not wanting to disrupt that flow. My fourth tip is to find yourself a reading spot. So I think we all have a place that is the most comfortable for us, that may be an area that we feel more concentrated to read a book. Be in that space, be in that environment. So there's some people that prefer having a silent environment, not have anything going on, so no music, no conversations, sat in a chair, in a bed. Whatever works for you, identify what your reading spot is so that when you're in it, that's what your mind automatically drifts towards. It's like, oh, where's that book that, I tend to read when I'm sat in this place, or when I'm about to go to sleep and I'm feeling sleepy. What's going to put me to sleep? Maybe it could be a book actually. So whatever that is, find that spot, and then as soon as you feel like reading, or as soon as you are in that position or in that area where it works for you, that's what you think of. My fifth tip to enjoy reading is try out different formats. So you might find that actually holding a hardback or the physical book in your hand is the thing that you enjoy the most when it comes to reading, and it's just so much easier to turn the pages yourself and to really get immersed. And that might work for you. But alternatively, if you find that doesn't work, then you can try it Audible and get in books and listen to them rather than, read them yourself. I find people tend to use that a lot when they're commuting or they're traveling. Like it just makes life a little bit easier when you're just hearing it and you're more of an audio person. And then alternatively, you might find that having it as a Kindle and on a device like a phone, tablet, that might be more helpful for you, just so that you can have a larger library collection of books, because it's all in that one small place. And it makes it easy as well if you're traveling around or you're out and about, that you can just grab your device and start reading from there. So find a format that works best for you and then use that, because you know you'll naturally gravitate towards it. My sixth tip for how to enjoy reading is to actually just keep a book with you. So I try to, depending on what bag I'm carrying. So most times I'm carrying a very impractical bag that's a bit too small for a book. But if I have a tote bag with me, then what I tend to do is just carry that book wherever I'm going. So maybe I'm going for a car journey and I'm a passenger, or I am going somewhere where I know there'll be a waiting time, then having that book with me just ends up being the thing that I fill my time with. So I highly recommend that you carry a book wherever you're going, just because you don't know when that moment of inspiration comes. But one thing that I will say is, I've tried the whole carrying a book on holiday thing. For me, okay, comment below, how do you read a book on holiday? Because I always set a goal to read, like, 2 books. So I carry 2 books, take up my my carry-on space, and then I just never get around to reading the book. Like, how do you read a book on holiday? That's what I'd love to know. So yeah, just share that with me, because I'm puzzled. I'm trying to figure it out, and especially with this, the world opening up sometime soon, I want to know if I should still be carrying a book, because the reading is not happening, and that's a bit disappointing. So hopefully with these 6 tips, they help you get back into the swing of reading once again. Thank you for watching.